The Vedic Age represents a defining chapter in ancient Indian history, beginning around 1500 BCE with the arrival of Indo-Aryans and lasting until 600 BCE. It is named after the Vedas, the earliest sacred texts of India, composed in Sanskrit. These texts not only provide religious hymns, but also reflect the social, political, and cultural life of the people of this age. The Vedic Age is divided into two phases. The early Vedic Age, also known as the Rigvedic Period, from 1500 to 1000 BCE, and the later Vedic Age, from 1000 to 600 BCE. In the early Vedic Age, people lived primarily along the Saraswati and Indus rivers. They were largely pastoral, depending on cattle for wealth and survival. Cows were considered sacred and a measure of prosperity. Agriculture was known, but not as developed as in later times. Society was tribal, with clans and families forming the basic units of life. Political power rested with tribal chiefs known as Rajan, who were often assisted by assemblies such as the Sabha and Samiti. These assemblies played an important role in decision-making and reflected a degree of participation in governance. Religion in the early Vedic Age centered on the forces of nature. Gods, such as Indra, the warrior god of thunder and rain; Agni, the god of fire; Varuna, the guardian of cosmic order; and Surya, the sun god, were worshipped. Sacrifices and rituals, known as yajinas, were central to religious practice, performed to gain prosperity, victory, and protection. The Rigveda, the oldest of the four Vedas, preserves these hymns and prayers, offering invaluable insight into early Aryan life. By the later Vedic Age, society had shifted eastward, expanding into the fertile Gangetic plains. Agriculture became more prominent, supported by the use of iron tools for plowing and clearing forests. Settlements grew larger, and tribal communities transformed into kingdoms. The power of the king increased, and monarchy became more centralized. Assemblies lost much of their earlier importance, replaced by the authority of rulers advised by priests. The social system grew more complex. The simple divisions of the early period hardened into a structured Varna system. Society was divided into four Varnas: Brahmanas, or priests; Kshatriyas, or warriors; Vaisyas, or traders; and Shudras, who served the other three groups. This system, which began with flexibility, gradually became rigid, laying the foundation of caste divisions. Religion, too, underwent change. While earlier hymns celebrated natural forces, the later Vedic period emphasized new deities such as Prajapati, Vishnu, and Rudra. While gods like Indra and Agni lost importance, rituals became more elaborate, requiring the guidance of priests. The dominance of Brahmanas increased, and sacrificial ceremonies became central to religious life. Economically, the later Vedic Age saw growth in agriculture, crafts, and trade. The use of coins began, though barter remained common. People lived in villages, though towns slowly emerged. Family life became more patriarchal, with the authority of the father increasing. Women, who enjoyed some freedom in the early period, saw their position decline, with greater restrictions on education and public roles. By the end of the Vedic Age, the stage was set for new developments. The rigid rituals and dominance of priestly power created dissatisfaction, leading to the rise of new religious movements like Buddhism and Jainism in the 6th century BC. Politically, the growth of kingdoms and republics laid the groundwork for the rise of powerful states, such as The Vedic Age was not just a religious or political era. It was the foundation of Indian civilization. Its hymns, rituals, and philosophies shaped the cultural identity of the subcontinent. Concepts of dharma, social order, and the importance of knowledge that emerged during this period continue to influence Indian thought even today.